Any other questions?
I had a question, just a quick question. The Charter Commission decided to not meet for a year. What was the reason for this meeting?
Honestly, can't even remember.
Mr. Chairman, maybe it's time for me to read my input, explain something.
All right.
As a member who came onto this commission, perhaps admittedly skeptical with open mind, I'd like to see that our commission begin to again move forward in its quest to discover whether moving to a charter form of the city government is indeed beneficial to us as residents of Greenfield or not. Let me explain my reasoning. I know that many of us are totally frustrated and embarrassed by the present majority council's bizarre antics and personal agenda. I also know that many residents would like to just pass a charter in order to gain a recall provision to oust the present council majority. But that would most likely just be an emotional and short-sighted solution on our part, which could lead to many, many more serious problems for our city and residents in the future. This could especially be true if we end up with an actual intelligent and competent council majority for a change next November. For it is they that will have to clean up this mess that's left behind by our present majority council. I know that we adjourned in frustration because of the present majority council's decision to circumvent our commission and to, quote, test drive, unquote, their charter. I think that we all concluded that this was really only another example of their feeble theatrics to again misrepresent themselves as the saviors of us all while continuing on their inept and insane path of destruction. Their leadership, and I use that word lightly, on the agenda, reminds me of what a 20th century British philosopher Karl Popper once wrote. He wrote, "Ignorance is not a simple lack of knowledge, but an aversion to knowledge, the refusal to know, issuing from cowardice, pride, or laziness of mind." As far as I'm concerned, that sums up our present city council majority perfectly. They truly can't see the forest for the trees because of the blind hatred and incompetence. I myself do not wish to follow them into the cesspool of their so-called leadership that they have imposed upon all the residents of Greenfield. Therefore, I would suggest that we start to again move forward with our charged duty of studying what's best for Greenfield and its residents. It may or may not be a change to a charter form of government. We'll form that conclusion after studying all the facts. That also doesn't mean that we just rush it through to provide a recall provision to rid ourselves of these three and to make the residents feel better either. I'd suggest to the residents in the meantime that if they want to move forward and sign that resignation petition that was passed through the audience at the city council meeting presently, they could do so. I understand that there's also a form that can be downloaded from www.greenfieldminnesotamn.com also. I know that it doesn't legally hold water, but we're all told that the present council majority's so-called test drive charter that they would abide by residents' provided petitions, just as if the charter was legally in place. All I can say is take them up on it and see if their word is indeed any good at all. I suggest that we, however, take the higher road and begin again to study which form of government is indeed best for Greenfield and its residents.
I think, Mark, to further answer your question, I think it's just the frustration of a lot of residents in what's going on at the city council. And the Charter Commission potentially has the opportunity to weigh in and recommend a charter to the city, or maybe look at disbanding, or some other route. This section that I read earlier, Chapter 412, is something that I think the Charter Commission should really look at on whether or not we could actually add additional council members to a proposed charter, have the city vote on it, and move in that direction. It's going to be a long time until the next election, and there's a lot of dissatisfaction, and we have a role. We're not necessarily here just to meet and beat each other's brains out each meeting. We're here to look at a charter and whether or not it's best for the city.
I don't know, I would just say that in talking to different residents within the city, you ask them to, to come to meetings, find out what's going on, and the majority of them will turn around and say, I don't need another headache. The meetings are so disruptive and so forth, and they're just very unhappy with the politics that are going on in Greenfield. So if there's a way that the city council can possibly make it sound somewhat positive to encourage people to come to the meetings, I would strongly suggest it, because right now people don't even want to look at you.
We have 5 minutes left before we adjourn.